finding as I'm a big ass hole. So that's pretty much what it looks like. Bondo glass. Alright, so it's time to start stripping the rest of the car. I'm gonna start hitting it with the DA 80 grit. Start hitting the roof first and then go on to the quarter panel, the door, and then I'm gonna end up taking off the handle, the lock, and this chrome strip. I'm gonna tape up the rest of this and then go from there. Let's go. It's all stripped now, the whole passenger side and the hardtop, as you saw. Did that pretty quick on video. Stripped everything I could with the DA. Everything else that you see that's in primer, I'm still gonna hit it by hand. So all these areas down here are the areas that I'm gonna hit by hand. All that right there, I'm gonna hit that by hand. All this right here, I'm gonna hit it all underneath there, hit it by hand. Those are the areas that are really hard to get to, but I know if I don't sand them good, by the time I lay some paint on there, it's gonna start peeling from there. Same thing with all these areas. I still have to strip all this. With the DA I could hit that, but like this area down here, all that right there, all the way back, gotta hit that by hand. Gotta get in there because all this is gonna peel off eventually if I do lay some color on there and don't sand it correctly. So the same way I would sand here, the easy areas to get to, I gotta get those areas too. Same process of grit, and bump it all the way up to 180 before primer, and so on and so on. And that's pretty much what it looks like. Took off the door handle and the lock. You can check it out on here with this card. You click on the card in that video there. Still gotta hit these areas by hand. I gotta take off the header panel so I can start hitting this. Start adding some body filler. The body filler that's here already is body filler that I had put on there a while back. I'm gonna leave it on there. I'm just gonna put a skim coat on it because with the DA I did kind of took the shape off of it, and I'm gonna reshape it again with the skim coat of body filler. Same thing all the way down there. You can see some of the dents or some of the little dings on the door. I'm gonna take care of those. That's where I'm at. Slow motion better than no motion. Alright, so I'm gonna start hitting all these rust pits with the wire wheel on a grinder, angle grinder. So I'm gonna start hitting all those spots to take out all the primer that's in there that I couldn't reach with the DA. And I'm gonna try to get as much of that rust off. I'm gonna try to just concentrate on those little pits. Try not to go too far out because the wire wheel is kind of rough, and I don't want to scratch the rest of it. So let's go. The motherfucker turns on. So this is what I'm finding as I'm using the wire wheel. It looks like whoever reworked this or added some body filler to these holes instead of actually taking care of them. But when I bought the car, the whole top had a vinyl top, but it had body filler here, like here. All these areas here had body filler. So right now when I went with the wire wheel, kind of dug them out, and that's where I get those holes there. So gotta keep going to the passenger side, but pretty much this is what go to the driver's side. So that's pretty much what it looks like on the passenger side. Took out as much as I could with the wire wheel. It was getting a little hot, that's why I was kind of touching it, making sure I didn't spend too much time in that little area, so that way I didn't create any warpage. Although the pits are already there, but you know, I don't want to make it worse than what it already is. So these came out pretty good. This one I think came out the best. Most of the rust came out of there. So I'm gonna do the rest of it. This side was the one that had the most rust pits. The other side should be okay, or not as bad. You never know when I get over there. But I do have that hole over there. So that hole there, I'm gonna take care of that. I'll show you how I'm gonna take care of it. But yeah. All right, so this is what I found. There was a lot of body filler here. I hit it with the wire wheel, took all that out, and yeah. So moving on, this hole's here. I'm gonna take care of that. So I started hitting it right here, and I messed up, and I kind of went a little too far. This is where the body filler is when I did this side, so that sucks. So I'm gonna have to, obviously reshape that, kind of bring it up. It's a real thin layer, but still, you can feel it. If you can feel it, you can see it in the paint. And then the rest of it wasn't that bad on this side. It was a lot better than the other side, like I said. But check this out. This is what I'm talking about. Look at that. It's a big ass hole. And then right here, they put body filler to cover these holes. Look at that. Well, you know what? Let's just plaster it with body filler and cover up the hole. It's gonna take a vinyl top anyways. And the way I'm gonna take care of these holes is with this here. Some of this Bondo glass. So I bought this at AutoZone for $15.99. I was looking at this same type of short strand filler from Eastwood, and it was actually $50. I'm pretty sure it was a quart. This is a small one, but this is all I need. I don't believe I have any more holes, but I don't think I need more than that. Then I also bought this right here, which is a patch. It has an adhesive in the back of it. So what I'm gonna do is, for example, I'm gonna open up this hole a little bit more, and I'm gonna cut that patch, put it on the inside, and stick it from the inside up, and that's gonna be the reinforcement. And then put this on there. So once I put that on there, smooth it out, shape it, and I'm gonna do that to the rest of the holes. Well, the one in the back. The one on that side, I'm not gonna do that to it because the holes are too small. They're not big enough. I'm just gonna put the Bondo glass right over it. So this is my first time trying this one out. I'm gonna try it out, see how that works out. So now what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hit the whole top with some water and white distilled vinegar. I'm gonna do 4 parts water and 1 part distilled white vinegar. Pretty much how I did the hood on this car. But this one has pits, and the hood didn't have pits. It just had surface rust. But look at that. Crazy. So I got my bucket with water. Not a lot of water, just a little bit. I'm gonna throw it away afterwards. And then I have the distilled white vinegar, which I bought at Family Dollar, cheap. Forgot how much it was, but it was cheap. Now that's how much water I'm using. Like I said, it's not a lot. And then it's 4-to-1, so it doesn't necessarily have to be measured. I'm not painting with it. So I don't know, 4-to-1. Just one more for good measure. Boom. Even though we're not measuring. But that's pretty much it. 4-to-1, and then hit it with the red Scotch-Brite. I am gonna throw on some gloves because this really stinks. Stinks like crap. So that's what it looks like. As you can tell, it's already starting to settle there. I'm gonna let that sit for about an hour. Take a good look at that. I hit the whole top. So it's 12 o'clock. I'm gonna wait till 1 o'clock before I start hitting it with a clean Scotch-Brite and some clean water. So while I'm waiting for the hardtop to finish settling in, I'm gonna hit the bottom of the door with this little 5-inch DeWalt, electric DeWalt. I was doing that by hand, but it takes a lot of work and on my knees, busting out my back. So I'd rather do it the fast way with a 5-incher because a 6-inch air DA that I have would actually eat up all those little pins here. Like I said, I'm trying to keep those in good condition because I am putting all the chromes back on and the clips and everything that goes on there. So I'm gonna hit that right now with the 5-incher and get as close as I can without busting those little pins out. So I'm gonna take off all this body filler that's here because it is a dent there. So I'm gonna take off all this body filler here. I'm gonna leave this on here because I could build on that, but this right here is kind of deep. I'm gonna take it out with the stud welder. I'm not sure why they didn't do that. Well, there it is. It's the best I could do. I mean, there's another spot that I could probably hit right there. But other than that, the major dent is out. You can still see a little bit there, but I think I could take care of those little spots there that are kind of, they're not that low as it was before, but I could hit those with that short strand fiberglass, shape it up stronger than that body filler. So put that on there. Now I gotta grind these, take off all those spots with the grinder, hit that up right now real quick. So it's 1 o'clock now, time to start hitting it. Here's my bucket with clean water, half of a new Scotch-Brite, and then my rags that I'm gonna use to dry it up. This is what it looks like right now. So that's what it looks like. I'm actually gonna end up dumping out the water that I just used because it's very contaminated, and I wanna hit it with some clean water to actually clean it with clean water. So this is what the bucket looks like right now. It's very dirty already because of everything that I took off. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump it and then hit this side again. Then I'm gonna do the same process to the other side. That way I make sure that I took off all that crap off of it. So it's done already. So we're ready to start adding some body filler and some of that short strand fiberglass here in these areas. So that's what's next.